Hey guys, welcome to the channel. It's me, Andre Salazar. This is The Art of Comics. And we got some work to do today. I have some homework, and I figured this would be a perfect opportunity to share it with you. So we're gonna do some work. We're gonna talk about the 9-panel grid. Specifically, we're gonna talk about Keith Giffen. Yeah, I could talk about Watchmen, but those of you who know, who've been around here a while, know that I am not going to talk about The Watchmen, Mouse, or From Hell on this channel. At least right now. Because, one, those are my top 3 books. And I don't think I can add to the conversation. Everything has been said about them by much more educated people than myself. So I don't have anything to add, so we ain't going to talk about that. Although Watchmen is a great book. But the 9-panel grid. But we're gonna do Keith Giffen because, as you know, I'm a huge mark for Keith Giffen. So much so that I've got tons of books bound by him. I love his work, and I'm working on this new project called The Tear. It is a 8-page horror story for an anthology coming out later this year, and I have the rough sketches planned out. But I want to go through Keith Giffen's work, look at some of the way he's composing both the panels individually as well as the pages. See if I can glean something from there and maybe modify and update and improve what I got already for this story. So let's do that work. I'm going to do it anyway, so let's just do it together and we can chat about Keith Giffen. I mean, come on. Again, if I could have a channel just of Keith Giffen or a channel just of Kyle Baker, I'd do it. Okay, so why don't we do a quick station identification, home housekeeping, shall we say, and then we'll turn the camera over. Okay, let's do this.
Are you ready?
Okay, guys, just a quick housekeeping. Those of you who have not checked out the Patreon, go check it out. Take a moment to look at that. If you want to support this channel, there's 3 ways. 1, subscribe to the channel here, like the video, share it with others. And the 3rd is go check out the Patreon. Go see, you can actually read this script, read the stories, all the comics I do, Pariah, Missouri, all that kind of stuff are there. And for $1, you can check it out and read it all. So that's kind of fun. So check that out. That helps out. Now that that's over, let's get on to work. So as you can see, I did these little sketches, and these are just thumbnails, right? Proportioned accordingly as what they need to be. This is a story about a portal, kind of a void that appears in the sky, and what the world would do if that happened. What kind of government agencies would be involved, what kind of scientific endeavors would happen, and what happens when somebody goes through, never comes back, but then he does, centuries later. What would you do? What happens? And so that's a little, it's 8 pages, so it's got to be quick and short and sweet, but I said, let's do 9-panel grid, because I love the 9-panel grid structure, and it allows me to tell more story. So let's do that. So we're going to put this aside right now. We're also going to use Wally Wood's 22 panels that always work, because I love this. I use this as a cheat sheet all the time. I'm always looking at these and saying, okay, could this panel be like this? Could this panel be like that? And I like this. I just think it's awesome. So we're going to use this, and we're going to start looking at some of Giffen's work. Now, we'll look. This is 9-panel grid, but let's actually start with Ambush Bug, because 1, we haven't really talked about it yet on the channel, and 2, because I love it so much. Now, he uses a different style in Ambush Bug, and it's something actually I want to play with. There's an artist, I believe he's South American, Jose Munoz. And Jose Munoz did a book called, I think it was like, was it Alex Center? Was it Alder Center? What is it? Let me look. Alex Center. And kind of a crime story. When you look at that, Google Alex Center. It's a black and white comic. It does have a kind of a Sin City feel. Also like Eduardo Rizzo kind of feel to it. And Keith Giffen was in love with this guy and really kind of dived hard on that look to the point where a lot of people didn't like it and would accuse him of stealing that idea or that style. I mean, there was a little bit of a hullabaloo about it. And honestly, I think it's baloney. People found panels that were just like his panels and that kind of stuff. Well, it gets a little dicey there. I can't speak too much to that. But I can say this. I think part of art is studying the masters, studying people, and learning from them. And I think all that is freaking fair freaking game. Okay? So, I wanted to start with this ambush bug stuff because I really like this style, and I actually kind of want to ape this, we'll call it Munoz style, to my 8-page story. So I thought that would be kind of fun. And where should we start? Maybe actually we should start back here. Some of these early ones really look like he's doing this kind of fun. So he can draw like normal, kind of, we'll call it John Byrne stuff. But then he goes into this very interesting kind of look. The panel borders there's no gutter. It's just black borders. So the coloring is critical on that. And he just crams in so much in here. I just kind of want to thumb through it and just kind of look at some ideas of how he's doing the faces, this kind of stuff. Really thick, heavy ink line brush, right? This is like Mike Allred type of thick brushes, right, that I like. So I kind of want this kind of style. Oh man, this is going to be tricky though. It's going to be tricky because it's not freaking easy how he does this. Like this kind of stuff, the profile. And the blacks, a lot of heavy blacks. A lot of heavy blacks. How am I going to pull that off? I got to think about this. Now, these are old, some of his first appearances, ambush bugs, and they were in Superman. I love this stuff here. I love this, this is almost kind of Kirby, right? Jack Kirby did this with the big, chisel pin. It's a comedy, as you could imagine. Giffen was known for back then, especially. And he worked with some writers that were good with the dialogue. Let's skip over to some of his best stuff, which is the Ambush Bug 4-part miniseries. This is epic. And I just love this even. That image. So when he wants to draw, he could draw the crap out of stuff. He knows how to draw, dude. No question on that. I'm just thinking about, my panels and what I have happening and looking for some ideas on how he does this. A lot of different, this is kind of nice, right there, red little insert, which is, I think, one of these, right? Yeah, good insert kind of panel. It's got profile. He's got big face, right, which would be like extreme close-up, or maybe big head here, Then he goes down to medium shot, then a wider shot showing the desk. He breaks it all up really well. My problem is I don't have this much real estate, right? I have to have a panel, because it's only 8 pages, I can't have this many panels. I have to have one panel, and then this next panel has to be something completely different and kind of move on to another scene or another time zone, because my 8-page story takes place in, decades or centuries between the beginning and the end. So I have to keep things moving. Okay, we have someone at the door. 1 second. The heck's going on? Okay, we're back. That was weird. My neighbor just dropped off a chocolate zucchini muffin. Very sweet. He did wipe his nose after he handed it to me, which made me a little bit nervous, but I don't know. This is something that Munoz did all the time, and Giffen does it all the time. We're going to see this in the Legion of Superheroes, too. This deal where he does a shadow over the eyebrow, the ridge, the brow, and down, and then you just have the nose. We see this all the time. It's kind of cool. It's kind of doesn't work, but I do like it, and I'm going to probably use it. Just such a stylized way of drawing these faces. It's really interesting. Let's see. Yeah, let's go to the next. The koala. That's freaking funny, dude. I'm just like thinking about these faces and these kind of positions and how stylized it is, and how far do I want to go with that, you know? I love the freaking Doctor Doom socks, Argyle, freaking epic. I have a costume of him actually over yonder, which you probably see all the time in the background. Of course, you got Doctor Doom, and you got Starfire, Stocking Stuffer. This stuff, yeah, I want to do stuff like this. That kind of look. He does do full backgrounds, though. If you look at these backgrounds, he's doing all kinds of stuff in here. He's not being cheap, or for emphasis, he'll just use like a kind of a weird speed line type stuff. But generally speaking, his panels are full of stuff, both dialogue and action or backgrounds. Yeah, look at these. What is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 by, this is 15 panels. It's kind of insane. And this dimension is I have a hard time drawing in this dimension, because generally we like to draw it, landscape. But this is like, to me, a challenge. Big time. Okay, I'm going to move over to the 9-panel grid stuff. I just wanted to show this to you because one, I love this freaking comic, and you can find these probably on like 99¢, the dollar bins. But I love the art. I love the art style. Okay, we're gonna keep this open. We're gonna move this, and now let's pull out Legion of Superheroes. Okay, this is called I think it's called the 5 years after the 5 years after kind of run. It is, he basically got Legion after. Now, he worked with Paul Levitz on Legion years ago, and he had a John Byrne kind of style. Very clean, very pretty, very modern. It was, contemporary with Byrne stuff with X-Men. And then he went off and did other projects. And then now he comes back a decade or more than that, many years later. Because I think that was like in the 70s, late 70s, something like that. The Dark Side Saga. What is it called? The Darkness Saga, or the Dark Side Saga, the Great Dark Saga, something like that. But here he is coming back to it, and he's got his crew from Ambush Bug, and he's got Al Gordon doing inks, and it's all 9-panel grid. So 5 years later, and so let's check the look at this. So this is the 9-panel grid. Bum, bum, bum. You will notice, and I'm going to say it's probably a combination of both the inking and also just he kind of leaves that Munoz style back because of some of the, I think just the response to it. It was just too far out there. And then he kind of goes into this style, which is just a little bit more, I want to say rendered. I don't know what the right term is, but it just a little bit more kind of mainstream. It still has Giffen. It still has this, it's not like crazy trencher stuff. It's still Giffen, but it's not as wild as the ambush bug. It's not as European looking. These are just great panels though. And again, look at the backgrounds, just full of stuff. And I like the way he draws the details. I like the way it's kind of like this, I don't know what these things are. These just like lines of, seams or just little, we'll call them details, little like, bits to give it some kind of a texture. Again, with the shadows, always doing this really cool kind of big body parts all in shadow. Close up, extreme close. He always does these big extreme close up stuff, which is kind of fun. Another great thing about the 9-panel grid, which I won't get to use, but you can see in a nice comic that you have a lot of spaces. Look at this. This is actually one image. Okay, see, that's actually a one picture, but you break it up, right? Just by putting the panel borders, and then you can then do your, narration. So this kind of stuff where you have a big image and you do that, that's fun. See that a lot. It's also, you'll also see a lot of duplicate stuff. I think we saw that before, but you'll see repeated panels, which is nice because the passage of time. He's got a close-up, doesn't he? Always has a close-up. Close-up there, close-up there. It's like every 2 or so pages he'll do a close-up. Just like, I'm going to save myself from drawing. Do a close-up. Yeah, here we go. So here's a great example. Repeating panel, a close-up. So this is like, just makes the work easier, And then you have stuff like this, which is like really simple to draw, really quick. Some hands, a finger, some freaking planets repeating. I mean, this page is like freaking half done. Look at that. It's all about cutting corners, making things quick. That's what Wally Wood said. That's what Wally Wood would say, dude. Okay? That's what he would say. He's like, don't draw when you can trace. Don't trace what you can copy. Don't do something that you can steal. Steal what you can. That kind of a mentality. Again, repeating with the little change in the background. So we see the passage of time. We see the moving in the back. We see the moving in the far background. But all this drawing is the same. And here's a panel, 2 panels, that's all one image. I don't have too many talking heads in my book. So, although I do have some that I can basically repeat. So I will be doing the repeating panels, which hopefully will help me a little bit. I love this art, you guys. What do you think of it? Tell me what you think. I think it's freaking badass. I really dig it. And then these are pages that's just like freaking cake. That's just like, he's loving that. find something particular. This is kind of complicated. A lot of stuff's going on here with these kind of crazy uniforms and stuff. I guess it's since she's some kind of a go-go dancer or something. Side view, front view, extreme close-up. This is a nice panel. A lot of stuff going on here. You got the side view with him in the front. She's in the back right there. We see her without a shirt, so we know they were doing something a moment ago. Then reverse shot. She's in the extreme foreground. He's in the middle. Oh, this is good, but I do have video of this, so go check out Gotham by Gaslight video. Love that book. Wonderful. Wonderful book. Nice little explosion. Yeah. I do have a couple scenes of like a riot. I might have to use photograph reference. I'd rather not. But I need to find some panels here of like a big battle. I don't know what's going here, but she's maybe she's in mid-dress. She's like putting her outfit on. Got a little bit of the skin going. Okay. Let me see. How far does it go like this? Now this is, see now here we go, we got some other artists coming in that kind of like change the way this is, because this is not Giffen. I mean, you could tell within seconds, somebody else. Who did this? Who did these pages? This is, who is this? Abel? I don't know who that is. Now this does look like Giffen now there. Yeah, Giffen's here. I didn't know Al Gordon wrote some of this. Darkseid? Did I ever finish this? I don't remember Darkseid being in this. In this one? Huh. There's Lobo. Freaking Lobo, dude. I have to reread this. Okay. I think I'm going to end it here. I'm gonna have to just sit here and go through this like with a fine-tooth comb and look for panels that are homologous to what I'm doing. I'm not seeing much though. I mean, it's really kind of hard. But I do love the style, and I'm gonna have to really kind of look at what he's doing here. And I should say Al Gordon too, because Al Gordon's inks it's important what he's doing. But you look at something like this, and then you look at this here. I mean, it's very different, wouldn't you guys say? You know, you're looking at, you know, as far as style, and you know, this is, I think it looks very different. That's my opinion. I mean, look at this. I think it's because he's inking it with brushes and really doing a lot of different weight variation, you know? This is nothing like this stuff. Al uses brushes too, you know, but he's using like, you know, Raphael's or Winsor Newton 7s. You know, this, I don't know what these could be those too, but just the chisel and everything, and really the weight variation is very different. It's really kind of playing with that. You know, look at this. This is European, you know, compared to this stuff. So, okay. That's it. That's my analysis. Thank you guys for watching. Again, like, subscribe, all that kind of good stuff. And check out my other channel that if you want to listen to me rant about other things that are not comic related. Have a good one. Enjoy your day. Bye, guys.